Hi, I'm Sandi Genovese, and I am an avid reader. I love to read. I brought the book. I just got back from a business trip, and here's a book I bought in the airport, and I thought I would show you. This is my bookmark. This is like a couple years old. I am hooked on these magnet bookmarks. They're so easy to make, but they last a long time. Eventually, if this one gives out, I'll just make another one. The idea that the magnet is, you can see the magnet on the back side, it's clamping together so that even if this gets loose, goes upside down, I put it in my luggage, it is not going anywhere. That bookmark is going to mark that place. So we're going to see how easy it is to make these. For those of you who are still using actual books instead of electronic readers, they're very easy to make. The one that we're going to make today, here is the little penguin, and you can see that he's hooked on the page, and it's just, once again, with magnets. So I'll go ahead and I'll just leave this and look at how to actually create this. You want to start first with a shape, and you're going to cut it on the fold. So if I move this so that you can see, here is the penguin shape, and you can see that I've just traced him onto paper, but I've folded my paper first. It does cut a little bit of his head off at the top, but you'll see how we're going to fix that. So you place the shape so that it overlaps the folded edge, and then go ahead. If you're using die cuts, you just put this in the machine and let it die cut it. Just leave the blade exposed at the top. If you're using a hand cut shape, just go ahead, take your scissors and cut along the pencil line that you've done. So I'm just about finished cutting, and there are places where my pencil line still shows. So I think right now, before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and just erase any place where you can still see some of my pencil marks. Some of it's going to get covered over and colored, but in other places it might show. So just in case I don't have all my pencil erased, I have one that I've already cut out. And at this point, you have your folded shape. And as I mentioned, some of the pencil lines will get covered because what I did was I just cut out of black this partnering piece that's going to fit right over the top. What this does is it covers up the folded top section that makes it look like he has a flat head. This way you get that shape back by putting this black right over the top. And if I haven't, you can see that I haven't perfectly matched. If there's any place where you can still see a little bit of white, I'll just go back with my marker and add a little black to his wings, any place where there's a tiny bit of white that still shows. And that way he's nice and solid. So at this point then I'm just going to add in a couple of details. I want a little triangle for his nose. So I've already, when I'm doing a shape that's tiny, I've already put my adhesive on the back of this yellow paper. So I'm just going to cut a little triangle shape. You can see I've already cut one for the nose in the first one. And then I'll go ahead, use my tweezers so I can get my fingers out of the way, and just attach his nose. And then with a white pen, I'll just add two little eyeballs. I think they're cuter for some reason when they're really spaced close together. Of course, it's up to you. If you want them to look angry, you make a more triangular shape or more ovally shape. At this point, I'm ready to create his feet. So all I did was I took a marker, and I don't need to worry about the second layer, so I'm going to get it out of the way. And all I'm going to do, I could have cut his feet out of yellow and trimmed it off and glued it on, but I can also just add this detail with a marking pen if you have a color that's close to the color that you want to add for his feet. So when he's fully decorated, if you're going to give it as a gift, you might even write a message like right on his stomach. You could say, chill out the summer with a good book. At this point, you want to add the magnet. This is what I started with. This is a box of 50, I think, that I bought. It cost like $15 at Staples, and I thought I'd never use it up. I've bought this like 3 times because I've used magnet for so many different projects. But they're business card size magnets. So then I'm just going to trim up. I've cut off one piece, and I'm going to put the magnet side together with another piece. So I have the 2 magnets aligned. I'll go back with my scissors and trim along the edge. So now I have the magnet sides together and the adhesive sides on the bottom and the top. All I'm going to do is use my finger to get the adhesive. Well, the magnets are still stuck together is where this works the best. So now this is sticky. So I'm going to position this inside the penguin. They're still together. I'm going to peel the backing off of the top magnet. And then all I have to do, and I want to make sure that it lines up, so before I press, I'm going to line it up and then press. And this way, you have a perfect fit. So now you have a magnet that's going to clamp perfectly on your page. And no matter what you do, that little guy is not going anywhere. That's how easy it is to make a magnet bookmark. Now, what's fun about it, because it's so easy, think about all the themes. You could do these with your kids for the summer. If you've been, for instance, let's say that you've been to the zoo. How cool would it be to make magnet bookmarks that match the theme of the zoo? Or let's say maybe instead you've been to the aquarium or maybe to SeaWorld. Your magnets could fit that theme. Or let's say maybe you've gone camping, or maybe you've gone to a dude ranch. You could do a cowboy boot. Or maybe you have plans to go to a birthday party. All of these are magnet bookmarks. These are not going to loosen up and go anywhere. Think about how easy it would be to create a magnet bookmark every time you give a gift of a book. You could create a bookmark that's themed for that book. If you're giving a recipe book, you can cut out a knife or a fork or a spoon, and that can be the bookmark. It's so cool and it's so easy. Well, that's how easy it is to make magnet bookmarks. But I thought as long as we're looking at how to cut things on the fold, there's some other things you can do. Remember, we started with the penguin and we cut him on the fold where the fold was at the top. Using that same technique, you can create all kinds of banners. I'm going to bring this up and show you. This happy birthday banner is created by cutting all the letters and the birthday cupcakes with that folded paper at the top. So I'm going to set this down enough so that I can sort of refer to this. If you look here, they're just draped over a ribbon. Here you can see this is the fold line of the cupcake, and I went back and added the candle to the top. But all of these letters were done the same way, but instead of turning them into bookmarks, they're just glued shut by draping ribbon in the middle so that they'll hang. That's one banner that says happy birthday. Here is another banner. This one that just says I love you, and this one I've used much bigger letters, and I thought I would flip it over so you can see this is the fold line of each of the letters. They're folded this time instead of over ribbon, they're folded over silk cord. Once again, makes a really handy banner. Remember that penguin that we made for the bookmark? He also is really fun. Here it is. He was part of my Christmas card a few years back. So because it was a Christmas card, I wanted it to sit in an envelope. So I accordion folded the letters. I have a very thin ribbon that they're draped over. And as I open this up, you'll see this was what I sent for my Christmas card. I think this might have been maybe 3 or 4 years ago. but you'll see the ho ho ho's are cut on the fold and the penguins are done identically. The only difference is, I'll set this down so I can show you, that I went ahead and I draped a little necklace on this guy with my message that says, have a cool Yule. But same technique. And then the last one that I want to share with you is for Easter. So instead of draping a shape of an animal or a letter, I've used the paint chips that you get at the hardware store to die cut an egg shape. You can see that it's on the folded edge, and then I went back and put over the top each of the eggs, and I wrote the letters. I hand cut Happy Easter, or I die cut Happy Easter, and put it on each of the letters. So you can see it makes a cool banner, and they, once again, they're done the same way by folding the paper at the top and leaving it connected when you cut out your shape. You know, if you plan to chill out with a good book this summer, a magnet bookmark is a really great idea.